Hey, what's up everyone? This is Joe. Welcome to another how to origami tutorial, and in this video I'm going to teach you guys how to make the origami seal. Alright, so for this tutorial, all you're going to need is one square sheet of paper. If you don't have a square sheet of paper or don't have origami paper, you can use printer paper, like standard printer paper. And this video up here should flash. That should take you to one of my tutorials on how to get a square sheet of paper out of a standard size piece of printer paper. But any rectangle, you can use that method on. And hopefully that helps you. Alright, so with the square, what we're going to do is we're going to start by folding in the diagonals. So to do that, we're going to go grab one corner and pull it all the way down to the opposite corner. Alright, so there we go. Let's go ahead and unfold that and fold the other corner to the opposite corner. So I know I say this in all my videos, so if you're hearing this for the 1000th time, my apologies, but when you're folding, take the time to go slow, line up your edges, right? So move the paper backwards and forwards and check the edge. Make sure that you have them perfectly lined up. If you've got two edges to line up, take the time to line them both up well. And once you're sure that they are where you want them to be, then you can smooth the paper out and form a crease. Now when you form a crease, you're going to want that to be a nice sturdy crease most of the time, unless I clarify otherwise. So I like to use my fingernail and just lightly press like that, run it along, and what that will give us is a very clean, defined crease line without compromising the rest of the paper around it. Alright, so now that we've folded from corner to corner, we've got these two diagonals here. What we're going to do is we're going to fold this edge and this edge to this center crease. It's going to look something like this. Alright, that's one edge, so now we're going to fold this edge into this crease. Now if I'm moving too slow for you, there's a nifty little tool that YouTube has down in the bottom right corner, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, the little gear icon. If you click on that, you should be able to change the speed at which the video plays. So if I'm going painfully slow for you, if you're an origami master, you can go ahead and click on that, and that should allow you to speed the video up to whatever pace you see fit. If I'm going too fast, do not be afraid to pause the video, catch up, and hit play again. Alright, so now that I've folded these edges into the center, or not the center crease, the diagonal, well I guess it'll become our center crease, we're going to unfold, and now we're going to fold in these two edges to that same center crease. Alright, so basically I could have just said all four edges to the center crease. Alright, so once you've done that, we're going to again unfold. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fold along those creases from the corners all the way up until they meet right here. So we've got this crease and this crease running this way, and they meet at this point. So we're going to fold on those creases again, but only up to that point. And what will happen, you'll see, is we'll get this little flap, just like that. So fold along those creases, and when you get this little flap, make sure you're not crumpling the paper. Just press it down flat, and it should fold down to this little triangle, like that. Doesn't matter which direction, but we're gonna say up for consistency. All right, just like that. Make sure the paper's staying flat, and then go ahead and crease. Okay, so once you've creased that, we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So this crease and this crease meet right here. So we're going to fold them up until that point. And we get that little flap again, so just gently press it down, making sure that nothing is bubbling. And when I say bubbling, that means when the paper doesn't lie flat and it crumples or bulges. So just to clarify my terminology, that's what I'm saying. Okay, there we go. So this is the base for the origami seal. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna do a mountain fold along this center crease right here, okay? So a mountain fold means it's just gonna rise up towards you instead of being a valley fold where it's tucked in. So mountain fold, like so. All right, so now once you've done the mountain fold, you should position your model to look like this. And we're gonna start with the head over here. So you'll notice that there's this crease right here that runs like that. I'm highlighting it with some pencil so you can see it easier. I'm probably gonna do that frequently since this is dark paper. What I'm also going to do is I'm gonna mark a little spot about this far away. I'm not gonna give you the actual distance because you might be using a different size of paper than me, and that's totally fine. It doesn't matter how small or big your paper is. But if I gave you a fixed dimension, it's gonna make the thing look slightly different. So, you know, do a rough estimate. If you miss it, it's not gonna be a big deal. Basically, just a small distance away from this crease on this edge. That point's all I'm looking for. And you don't need to mark it, you can just eyeball it. Anyway, we're gonna take this edge right here, this edge of the paper, and we're gonna fold from this point going up, almost completely vertical. So it's gonna be a 90-degree angle to this bottom crease, or this bottom edge right here. All right, once you've done that, give it a nice firm crease, and then in addition to folding it this way, we're gonna unfold, and we're gonna mountain fold it too. So along the same line, mountain fold it. So now it's behind. See that? It was in front before, now it's behind. And we're gonna fold down there and unfold. Okay, now we're gonna do an inside reverse fold. So this might be a little tricky if you haven't done this before, but it's definitely something worth practicing and getting used to. It's very common. What we're gonna do is we're going to kind of open this up, and right here you see this is a valley fold right here, like we were talking about. I'm going to turn that valley fold into a mountain fold, and these creases that we just made, those are both going to be valley folds. So the paper might not want to cooperate at first, but you just kind of have to slowly coax it to the correct direction, and you should get a result that looks like this. Again, if this is something new to you, you're gonna have to try it a few times, but it's something worth learning. All right, now it should look like that. We're gonna do a very similar thing to shape the head downwards, but first we're going to get rid of this point right here. So let's go ahead and look at this head on and open it up. So I'm gonna turn it and face me, and I'm gonna open this up. Don't open it up too much because we don't want to make the creases weird, but no pressure. Anyway, let's take this point right here, and we're gonna fold it down to this bottom point, but only as a mark fold, okay? So mark fold means that once you've lined it up like that, so I've lined it up so that the points are exactly where I want, the center crease is still aligned, I'm just gonna pinch it where I want to see and unfold. So that way, I don't know if you can see, but I can certainly see there's this little mark right here. And we're gonna use that for our next fold. And our next fold is gonna be folding this point again, down, but to that mark fold. Just like that. So the purpose of a mark fold is just to use as a, what's the word I'm looking for, landmark. A landmark for another fold that doesn't damage the paper too much in the process. Okay, so we folded it here. We're gonna close this back up again. And here we are. So now I'm gonna fold along this edge of the paper. So right about along here, I'm gonna do a mountain fold and a valley fold along that line. So starting with the valley fold, like this. Good solid crease since we got a lot of paper here. Unfold, and then also a mountain fold. Like that, and unfold. Okay, so for the next step, we're gonna take this edge right here, and we're gonna fold from this point to just below this point. So I'm gonna come across like that. I don't wanna fold too much. Keep that point right there firm. And I'm gonna fold to this point and then just a little below, just a hair. All right. And we're gonna crease there pretty firmly and unfold. And again, we've made it a valley fold. Let's make it a mountain fold too. And unfold. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to press this down. So I'm going to use this hand right here, this hand, my left hand, to pinch right here, keep this closed, but my right hand is going to open it. So you can see that this area we worked on before, where we had to open to fold the point down. This hand is going to keep that closed, this hand's going to open it. So it should naturally fold such that these lines become mountain folds and these lines become valley folds if you open it up, right? And it should collapse into this kind of shape. And that is the head of the seal. All right, there we go. Now you're gonna wanna definitely pressurize these creases because they're not going to want to fold down and stay down. If you want to use glue or something, you can do that, or just make sure that your creases are very, very strong. All right, so that's the head. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the flippers. So I'm going to fold from this point. I'm just gonna, you know, there's really no measurement. I'm gonna fold till about here, just like that. Okay. Just make it look like a flipper. So I folded it to just before it got to this point right here. If you want to do the same thing I'm doing, that's what you're looking for. All right, go ahead and flip it over. I'm going to fold this corner back because most seals do not have pointy fins. Just fold it back like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So I'm going to fold it so that it matches the first flipper. If you want to make them asymmetrical, that's fine. I like symmetry, so I'm going to make them align. Okay, just like that. Flip it over and also fold that point back. All right, just like that. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the tail. So we're gonna do another mark fold. I'm gonna take this tip and move it up to this point right here. Like that, and I'm gonna fold. All right, and then go ahead and unfold. So now we should have a mark fold on this edge right about here. And again, we're going to turn back to this crease over here it's running this way. I'm gonna highlight that. So we're looking at this guy right here. I'm also gonna make a point that's just a little bit offset from that. Maybe a little longer than the offset we did over here, but it's not a huge deal. So I'm gonna mark right here, okay? Like that. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold, hold on, let me draw this line in real quick. We're gonna fold this edge in up to this line, right? This line that goes between those 2 points we just found. So let's take that edge, just like that. We're gonna fold it up at this kind of steep angle. We're gonna fold it so that it goes through both of those points, like that. Okay. Let's go ahead and stabilize those creases, and we're gonna do this both as a mountain fold and after you unfold as a valley fold. I said those opposite as to what I was doing. Ignore that. All right, crease it that way too, and unfold. Okay, now if you haven't guessed it, this is going to be another one of those inside reverse folds. So we're going to take this, we're looking at it from the top here. I'm going to open it up right here, and you'll see this kind of shape. You're going to turn this center crease into a mountain fold, and then these angled guys are going to become valley folds. All right, when you complete it, you should get that. Okay, next what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this tail right here, look at it from the end, and open it up a little bit. We're gonna fold this edge, oh sorry, this is getting out of focus. We're gonna fold this edge so that it goes from this point to this point. It's gonna go across. So I'm looking for this. Just like that, okay? Go ahead and crease along that, and then unfold. And we're gonna do the same thing going the other way. So we're gonna take this edge and we're gonna fold it so it goes across both of those corners as well. Okay, and unfold. So now we're going to take this part, this part of the center crease, what's now become our center crease, that's going to become a valley fold like that. You can pinch it together, as are these two creases we just made. So if all three of those become valley folds, you'll see that it wants to kind of pinch in. So that's what we're going to let it do. Pinch in on both sides, squeeze it down until you get this flap. Fold that flap over to the side, like that. Pinch those creases. And now we're gonna just get this out of the way. We don't really want this flap, so we're just gonna kind of hide it. So I'm gonna fold it down like this. So I'm gonna fold it so that this edge goes along that center crease. That kind of hides it fairly well. Like that, okay? And once you've done that, go ahead and fold the tail back to its closed position. All right, you're gonna lay it down and stabilize those creases because now we have a lot of paper in there. What we're gonna do next is we're going to mountain fold along this edge of the paper right here on both sides, So I'm gonna look at it from this angle. I think this is a convenient angle. So here's the model. From this angle, I'm going to crease along the edge of the paper such that it makes a mountain fold like that. See what I just did? I just pinched along those edges of the paper and made the tail. So now you're gonna kind of position it how you like, but basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch here and press here like that. Okay, now Yours might end up angled a little bit this way or that way. That's fine. You know, this is really just to kind of get it where you want. So take this, press flat, and just kind of move it around, see where you like it. And once you found a spot where it can be pressed flat and makes sense to you, go ahead and do that. This is what works for me. And you can see when I flatten that back out, we get a nice tail that can be on either side, really, like this. See that? The very last thing we're going to work on is rounding out the shape. So I've never seen a humpback seal before. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold that down. I'm going to see there's two layers here. So I'm going to take the top layer and I'm just going to fold a section of that crease. Another section of that, point it back like that. I don't know if you can see it very well, but I promise you I folded it. And then flip it over and copy that. Just like that. Okay, now I'm going to bring it back. I'm just going to keep defaulting back to this orientation. All right, like that. Another thing, the head is a little bit blocky for my taste as well. I like rounded shapes rather than strict lines and angles, which is what you tend to get with origami. So I'm just going to shape it the way I want. So I'm going to fold this corner in, just a little bit on this corner. And then for the nose, I'm going to do another inside reverse fold. So this is small and complicated. You can choose to do it or you can choose not to do it. But I'm just going to press a little piece of the corner in like that. It makes a little nose. All right. I'll do the same thing on the other side. All right, now I'm gonna go back to the tail thing, and this will be the very last step. So we've crunched this tail, and I was not very specific on how you crunch the tail, but the reason for that is because there's really not a correct way to do it. You just want it to be positioned how you like it. You know, if you wanted to have it so that it was angled more this way, go for it and leave it that way, that's fine. If you wanted to have it more angled this way, maybe not as ideal to what a seal looks like, but if you want it that way, go for it. Here's something to just make it look better from the side perspective though. However you angled it, this will kind of help it look better. So I'm just gonna take this and I'm gonna twist the paper like this. I'm gonna try and show it from the top too. So I'm grabbing it here and I'm twisting it down. See that? And from the side again, grabbing it here and twisting it forward. Okay. Once I've twisted it to where I want, I can kind of not really fold it, but kind of crease it, you know, just a little bit. And that just gives it a little bit of a better perspective from the side. All right. And that is how you make the origami seal. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I really enjoyed making this design and refining it, and in the end presenting it to you guys, and I hope that it was fun. If you like this video, go ahead and let me know by hitting that thumbs up. I really appreciate it. It lets me know I did a good job. And if you're new to the channel and you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, because we produce a lot of content like this, and we're really trying to make it more regular. It's hard to do, we're all busy, but anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and keep up the quarantine. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.